how to deal with failure, how to deal with the feeling of being stuck, how to get out of that negative spiral where life doesn't go the way you want it to be, how to get out of that, how to take control. Okay, so this is personally something that bothered me the most in my life. And when I learned the lesson, I actually paid, I think, $50,000 for that lesson, for coaching about that. I honestly would have paid even more. But when I learned how to deal with life's miseries, things not going the way, and how to take control and how to make things the way I want it to be, that was the ultimate freedom. That was like me on my knees thanking God every single day that I know now how to deal with life's misery, how to turn things around really fast. Now people think I never experienced anything bad. I still do. I just know much better how to deal with that. Okay, so let's get into this. When you are experiencing something where you feel stuck, maybe you are dating and all the men and women that you are meeting are just not what you want. And you feel lonely, you are always at home, you're coming to an empty house, you seem not able to meet someone. I mean, for me, the number one emotion in that situation was frustration. For you, maybe it is sadness, maybe it's anger, but at the end, it's all the same. You feel like you failed, you feel stuck. And I'm going to be giving you here examples of relationship, but actually you can use this concept in any life area. It's about mindset work, it's about quantum leaping. That's one of the reasons why my clients turn that negative scenario, whatever they've been going on forever, into something amazing. Okay, so even though I give you examples of relationships and dating, you can use that for all life areas. So yeah, you feel stuck, you feel like nothing is working, or maybe you don't have money, right? Or at least for me, that was 10 years ago like that. I didn't have money and I felt stuck, and it just goes a down spiral. And then you try to get money, but the more you try, the more you dig deeper the hole of having no money. Or maybe you are in a relationship right now and you deeply want a loving relationship, but the way you guys are communicating with each other is either like with a passive aggressive tone, or there is coldness, there is distance, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Because the more you try to fix the relationship, the more it seems like to be even more broken. Or all your efforts are like poof in the air. This is how I felt years ago before I learned this concept. You know, I before this business I also had other businesses, and I was like, the more I try, like I feel like I'm not moving forward. I really feel like I'm not moving forward. I feel stuck. I felt so stuck, and I felt like the more I tried, the worse it got. Same with dating. I felt like the more I tried, the worse it got. Okay? And then usually what happens when people experience this type of situation, let's say you're in a relationship and then you really don't want to break up with this person because you love them, but also like the tone and the dynamic isn't good. Usually what happens is people start feeling frustrated, feeling angry, feeling resentful, feeling like everything is just worthless. And then, what happens then? they keep recreating that reality. And I'm gonna tell you why this happens. So it's because your beliefs create emotions. Your emotions create thoughts. Your thoughts create actions. Your actions create your reality. Okay, this is basically like simplified the concept of manifestation. The problem is when life throws stones at you, you have relationship problems, you are on 10 dates with someone who literally is not what you want, maybe they even misbehaved, or there are issues in your business, or maybe there are no issues, but you are stuck in your business, in your career since 10 years, or since 5 years, or even since 2 years, you earn the same amount of money and you want more. This is all negative, especially for you. I know when you are following me, you are a high achieving person, you have high desires, high standards for yourself, and like not moving forward feels like a punishment. Even if things are okay, but you want more, you want to move forward. So usually when life throws those stones at you, it goes backwards. Instead of you being the creator of belief, emotions, thoughts, actions, reality dictates your mood, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. So now, because something bad happens in your life, you start the down spiral. Your actions are like, let's say in your career, in your business, you are stuck with your income for 1 year. You have the same, I mean, it's good. You earn, let's say, 10, 20K, but it's still not nice. And then what will your actions do? Your actions will be like, okay, oh, I don't feel like doing it. Your thoughts will be like, okay, I guess I'm not worthy to receive more. Your emotions will be down, down, down. And your belief is like, maybe I'm I'm just not good enough. And then can you see that with those actions, with those thoughts, like with this, even though it's caused by a real event, that it's just impossible to get out of that hole. You're just digging deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like a down spiral that's never ending. And the same thing happens in dating. The same thing happens, when you are having 10 dates that are just with people that are not what you want. They're not matching your desire list. Maybe they have been even rude or like really not attractive. You know, Again, the reality creates actions of like, you know what, I don't feel like going on more dates. Emotions of, oh, I'm so frustrated. Thoughts of, there are no good women or no good men out there. And belief of maybe, who knows, maybe there are not good no good women men out there, or maybe I'm not good enough. Some people put things outward, some inward. But with this mindset, with those emotions, with these actions of not going out anymore, do you think you can break that chicken egg problem? You can't. It's literally not possible. You are going to be stuck. And this is what I always mean when I talk about you driving in a cycle. You're stuck because life throws something at you and then you respond to it, and your new attitude is going to keep recreating that. Okay? Same with the relationship. Your partner had a bad mood. You start feeling like, oh, again, so annoying. Your actions, your thoughts, your feelings are just down. And then your actions, your thoughts and feelings keeps your partner in that bad mood, keeps that dynamic bad. And this is what I mean when you are stuck in that cycle. And this is what I always mean when I say, when you want to reach, let's say you're in New York and you want to drive to Toronto, to Canada, you want to go there, but your navigation system your Google Maps or whatever you're using is set for Florida, you can drive as fast as you want. You ain't reaching Toronto. You're gonna be reaching Florida. Or maybe you're just driving around the block and you're not reaching anywhere. So if you feel stuck, you're just like having the same reality. Or maybe you're in a downward spiral. No, you're not doomed. You are not doomed, okay? It doesn't has to be like that forever. It just doesn't. We just have to set up the navigation system. And once you know how to do this, you're gonna be moving in the right direction. And usually people just think about the driving part. Okay, well, if I want to have more money, I'm opening a new business. If I want, I don't know, if I want like a new wife or girlfriend, I want a husband, I have to go on dates. If I want a good relationship, like I have to talk to them once a week. People think about like only the doing part, but the navigation part, like the Google Maps, are your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, is the energy behind it. Okay? And honestly, this is the number one thing that I help my clients with when they work with me one on one to achieve success, to change whatever was happening in the past. And I love to give you that concept, and please use it if you can. But I also know that when you are in this down spiral, it's not easy to pull yourself up like that. But it's much easier to have a coach by your side who can literally be like, okay, let's do this, let's get up, and let's have a different way of living. And I'm gonna share with you in a second how exactly it's gonna look like. And one thing I'd like to share here, if you desire my support, either you're a man or a woman or a couple, make sure to reach out for a free love audit call. I'll put the link in the description box or in my bio. You can also send me an email with your details, with your situation. And also, because the Black Friday is coming, you're gonna have 50% off of all of my courses. My courses are until now mainly for women. So if you're a man, you want to have a course, you've got to send me ideas, then I might create one. But if you want to check out my courses, you're a woman, go to my course overview link in the description box, and you will have there lots of courses, communication courses, how to date courses, um, a lot of the things, okay? So just go and check it out. All right, so let's continue where I'm gonna spill the secret now, how you're gonna get unstuck. So let's assume you are just feeling frustrated, you're feeling angry because every single date is just going down, it's not what you want, people are ghosting you, there is no real connection. If this happens, you really have to not not do this. Reality sucks, so my emotions, my thoughts, everything else gonna suck. No, you literally have to ignore the reality for a little bit and be like, okay, what kind of energy do I want to bring? You become the creator. What kind of belief do I want to bring? What kind of what kind of desire, what do I manifest? Okay, so it would start with belief. Instead of saying, there are no good men, no good women out there, it's like, you know what? I'm open to see and meet a good person. I'm open for it. You don't even have to tell yourself there are so many good women. Just be open for it. Okay, that's the belief. The thoughts that you're thinking that are coming from those beliefs. When you see someone, instead of already saying, let's say you see someone who doesn't has the best outfit, okay? I used to do that. I have to admit this. Instead of saying, oh no, like they are just like, instead of judging them, might be like, okay, maybe they just didn't have time to pick something else, or they were just so busy, and it doesn't really matter. Like, have those positive thoughts. They are amazing. Is this a big thing? It doesn't matter. Like, okay, maybe this is not the nicest outfit, but it really doesn't matter. Like, they can wear something else, or I can help them with the style or whatever. Okay, so have thoughts that match your desire. Sort of, because the truth is, when we look for something, we will find it. When you look for color red, you will find it in this picture too. When you look for green, you will find it too. It's like when you have your own car, you know how when it's like in the traffic, you immediately spot it. Like the specific car that I had, I would immediately spot it. And because I had like even a really rare car, if someone was driving on the street, they would also spot me, and sometimes like they would just like wave or something. Because, we recognize what we program ourselves to look for. This is how you take charge for your life. Okay, so have thoughts that match that belief. Okay, look for possibility of people who are actually a good match for you. Emotions. It's not gonna be helpful if you are just down, feeling lack, feeling frustrated, feeling angry. And the thing is, I remember 10 years ago when I listened to this advice, oh, you can't create abundance out of lack, you can't create love out of hate or frustration. I was like, okay, I get it, but how? How in the world do I level up my emotions? Like I'm just feeling lack, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling bad. Okay, I get the concept, but how do I level that up? Okay, how to do this, I put in my course, Activate Your Secret Weapon. I actually don't even know if it's publicly for sale, if it's on my, I think it is on my course overview. If you're interested, if it's not on my course overview page, you have to send me a message, because in that course it's literally worth thousands of euros of dollars. You learn how to have control on your thoughts and emotions and not be stuck. How this is like the foundational knowledge I actually did for my one-on-one clients, how to get unstuck of that. Okay, so have control on your emotions. And I know right now I cannot give you everything in this video, it's just too much. Okay, but you can learn this in the Activate Your Secret Weapon course. So you cannot be in hate, in frustration, in anger, in sadness, and all of these things if you want to attract the opposite. And I know it's difficult. I know. I know. It's one of the most difficult things ever to kind of like have life throw stuff on you which you don't like, and then still be the creator, and then still get up and be like, you know what? I'm in charge here. But it's the most powerful thing I've ever learned, and you can apply it in all life areas: money, health, spirituality, relationships. You're in charge. You don't let life beat you down. And yeah, unfortunately, our normal human reaction is to feel sad, feel down, feel frustrated, but guess what? That just leads for you to be stuck, driving around the block or driving in the wrong direction. Down spiral, things just keep getting worse. By the way, when I was much younger, I was a teenager, I realized I had months where everything was just going perfectly up, and I have months and weeks where everything just went down the hill. And if I knew this knowledge back then, my life would stabilize and I would just like go up and up and up, which is what happens now. My life keeps increasing, keeps getting better, because you know what? I don't let life put me down. I'm in charge here. Okay? So, emotions. You've got to be really, really clean how you're feeling and work on that. Okay? And no, just faking it doesn't count. Maybe your friend will take it, but the universe, God, source, they know how you really feel. So you really have to deal with whatever is inside. That's real inner work, okay? So let's say your emotions are loving. You have loving emotions because you know you want to create love. Okay, your partner comes home angry or sad, frustrated. Instead of reacting to them, why don't you decide, I'm in charge of my life? I'm gonna be loving. It's not for him, because sometimes we feel like, why would I be nice to him when he is like in such a bad mood? I get that. It's maybe not fair, but it's not for him, it's for you. You are nice, you are feeling love in your heart because you decide you want love in your life. Okay? Same with money. When things go downhill, maybe you feel stuck. Instead of feeling frustrated, instead of feeling nothing moves forward, what if you can achieve to feel abundant already? And oh my god, in this area, I had clients, like even with your health, I had clients where I was like, you cannot carry this feeling of being ugly, like with weight loss, for example, and expect you to have the best figure. But if I already feel beautiful and sexy, if I already feel abundant, I will never be abundant. And then I just asked them this question. How many months slash years did you do your way? Well, 10 years. Okay. Are you open to try another way, which is proven for your success? This is literally proven. All of those testimonials you see on my channel are because of that concept. And yes, it's mostly for relationships, but it also works in other life areas. She was like, okay, I'm gonna work on my mindset, on my emotions. I'm gonna already be in charge, and I'm gonna trust that it's gonna work. Literally, after 10 years trying, within 2 months, she had her dream body. And I also remember when I did this with money years ago, I think it took me months to earn money. I was like feeling stuck, I was feeling low. And then I one day decided, you know what, I really tried everything. I tried for months. Let me just embody abundance now. In 2 days, I earned what I wanted to earn collectively in 3 months. I was mind blown. Like that was the moment for me where I was like, I'm no longer questioning that. I'm no longer questioning that method. It works. And since then, I only do that. And I keep growing in my life. My life keeps getting better. I keep getting healthier. I keep having more love, more money, more everything because I know how to be in charge. Okay. So emotionally, you've got to be in charge. When it comes to dating, instead of, because you met 10 people who aren't a match, but you know what, I had clients who met 30, 40, 50 people, and only then they found someone who was that dream person, and they got engaged and married and everything was perfect. Instead of being, oh, okay, it's not gonna happen, which I get it, it's human to feel like that. I'm usually, my human response is being frustrated, like I can, like, I'm just getting, it's not necessarily an anger, but it's like such a frustration. Like, I get frustrated, you know, like you might have a different feeling. But connect back to your vision, connect back to your vision. And imagine when you meet your dream person, how would you feel? Excited, right? So channel that excitement now. Because if your next date is your dream person and you show up like that, oh, I'm so frustrated. Men and women are just like, you can just throw them in the trash can. your dream person will run away from you. You've ruined the chance. Okay? So you see how this is a cycle, and you're stuck unless you start doing the things that I'm right now sharing with you. Okay, like, and I want you to see this training as a $50,000 training, because it literally is, and I literally paid for that so much. Okay, so you channel that excited energy, and if it's not the person, too bad. But if it was, if your next date is your dream woman, your dream man, you're not gonna screw that up because you bring energy and mindset that repels your dream partner. And yes, we think, oh, but once I find my dream partner, then I will be excited. That doesn't work like that. You won't find your dream partner until you're excited. Once I'm abundant, once I have lots of money, then I will feel abundant. That doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. I wish it did. My life would have been so much easier if it did, but it doesn't. Once my husband, my wife behaves good, only then I will feel love. The problem is, usually they will misbehave until you feel the love. Because they reflect your energy. I know, I know. I know, when you're in the situation, you're like, that's not fair. I don't like it. I I was thinking like that too, but I was like, you know what? It is just how it is. Let me learn how to, let me learn how to do it and have a good life. Fairness or not fairness, life is what life is, whatever. Let's not talk about what's fair. Okay, so we talked about emotions. You are in charge of your reality. Then action, and then your act when your mindset, your emotions are when your mindset and your emotions are kind of like aligned, the actions will feel very natural. By the way, the emotions, the thoughts and beliefs, if you want a tool how to work on them, activate your secret weapon is the course for you. If you're a man, you can also take this course. Okay, this is like gender neutral, so you can also take this course. Activate your secret weapon is going to help you be in charge. Okay, then the last point before you break through is actions. But when your mindset, when your energy is top, the actions feel really easy. I remember my client telling me, oh, I wanted to lose weight. Once she embodied that she's beautiful, she is sexy, eating a salad was the eating a piece of meat with salad was the easiest thing for her ever. Before, she would like binge eat junk food all the time, and she had to force herself to eat. But when she felt like she really embodied the essence of having this beautiful body, actions were easy. Same with dating. When you're open that there's an amazing person out there for you, when you know, deep down know that you're gonna meet this person one day and you're already excited, the action on going out just gets really, really, really easy. Okay? And same with your partner. When you already have love in your heart, you have compassion, you know that he or she loves you, not saying anything mean to him because or to her because they were like snappy after work or whatever. It's just gonna be so easy, and you create your reality. Don't think you do it for other people, you do it for yourself, because you want love, you want a great person, you want money. Okay, and then there's one last thing that people say, where especially people who want to expand, you know, or before we go there, so yeah, the actions are gonna be literally easy, but you still have to know how to do them. Okay, so the action, let's say for dating, you want to attract your perfect match, your perfect man. I highly recommend How to Date a Millionaire course. Okay, this is like from A to Z, how to date a successful man as a successful woman. It's gonna be 50% off. After this live stream, I'm putting the code in the description box. Okay, I highly recommend that. For communication in dating, but also in your relationship, I highly recommend how to talk to a millionaire. Okay, and if you want to just have a sample of my work, again, this course is also for women. I highly recommend Get Ready for a Date course. Get ready for a date as a successful woman with a successful man. Get ready for a date with a millionaire. That's a very affordable course that helps you have an amazing routine to switch from your work mode to your date mode. So that, I'm also guiding you with like all of the steps that help you emotionally, energetically, physically to have a successful date as a woman. Go check it out. It's also going to be 50% off for this week, this Black Friday week, all in my course overview link. Okay, so the actions are in those courses, how to do these. So, and then guess what, then you break through. That's why I'm always so confident that my clients, of course they break through. I don't care if you come to me and tell me for 50 years you had failed relationship. It literally happened. I had a client who was 70 years old. She was like, for 50 years I had failed relationships. Can you help me? And I did. She's married now to an amazing man. At age of 70, she lives her dream life. I don't care how long you've been stuck, how long you've been driving around the block, how long you've been going the wrong direction. I'm gonna get you to the right one. Okay, because this is a proven system. I'm using that since over 5 years. As you can see, my work isn't just about being dating and relationship coach. I'm also very self-aware and using trauma-informed knowledge, quantum leaping knowledge, and techniques that will get you the fastest results. You're not only going to get the how to, you get the blueprint how to get to your direction 10 times faster. You're not walking, you're taking the airplane. Okay, so, and the last point before your breakthrough, which is especially important for you if your life is good. Like, I've noticed that my clients who really suffer being single or really suffer not having the money they want, like, they can take disappointment easier because it's like, I don't really have much choice. I can't stand being single. I can't stand being stuck with this income. Let's push through it. But if your life is good and you're like, you know what, I'm kind of okay single. I'm kind of okay with this income. Like, my relationship is also good. What might stop you is resistance. Okay, so after like all of these steps, here is like the action and the breakthrough. Here is like still like a gap, you can see it even in the fingers. It's like this gap. And this gap is like the resistance to avoid disappointment from a lot of people. It was definitely for me, where I was like, okay, like, why to do all of these steps? Because I will be disappointed maybe, or I will invest time, energy, and money. And I decided, you know what? Time, energy, money will anyways be invested. I can invest it in my dream, or I can invest it in Netflix. My time. It's my choice. It's your choice. My energy will anyways will be invested. I can invest it in my dream, or I can invest it in endlessly talking about unnecessary topics with my girlfriends. Money anyways will be invested. I can invest it in my dream, or I can invest it in vacations. Nothing is right or wrong. You choose. But I personally choose to keep growing because life just has so much even more for me right now. So if you're in a good place, especially then this gap will be there. I see people who are in a negative place, they really can't stand whatever their situation is, the gap disappears. But like if you're in a good place, you're like, should I really go for it? Or, there is like this fear of disappointment. Oh, what if I fail? What if I try all of these concepts and I still I don't attract my dream person? What if I try all of these things and I still don't have a loving relationship? What if I try all of these things and I still don't earn money? It's like setting yourself up for failure again. Because guess what? If you don't try, you won't have this anyways. But if you try, yes, maybe it won't come as fast as you wish and you will have to face disappointment. But trust me, you are able to do it. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be disappointed. You'll take a deep breath and you'll be like, you know what? Let me try again. This date, my 11th date, didn't go as well, but I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna do all of these steps. I'm gonna align my thoughts, my emotions, all of these steps I'm gonna do again and try again. And if you can master this process, you're gonna keep growing in your life. And there's literally guaranteed success. Okay? So that's why you hear people saying most people who have a good life, they never expand above it because there's this gap, you know? Like there's nothing negative that pushes them and nothing positive, or the positivity isn't strong enough. It's not true. The positivity is strong. It is very strong. If you have a good life, you have a partner, but you want romance, you want attractiveness, you want love, there is this pull, but there is also this gap. And this gap is also something you can overcome. I don't want to talk more about this gap here. I just want to let you know that there is a way to move forward in life, okay? And you don't have to be stuck. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any other new videos. And if you feel like someone might need this, someone would benefit from this video who feels stuck or always is complaining in your ear, oh, you know, my days are so bad, my wife, my husband is so bad, my money is so bad. If someone is stuck, send them this video so that they learn the concept how to deal with negativity without complaining, taking charge and turning their life around into whatever they want it to be. Okay? If you want to work with me, reach out for a free love audit call. And if you want a course to take charge of your emotions and thoughts, which leads to your breakthrough, go get the Activate Your Secret Weapon course. And if you are a woman that wants to know how to date and how to communicate with men, especially successful men, that will inspire them to choose you, to commit to you, check out my courses, How to Date a Millionaire and How to Talk to a Millionaire. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I see you in the next one.